Good morning, students. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday. I hope you got to spend lots of time with family and friends, and hopefully you got to rest a little during your break. I wanted to make a short video with some information about our upcoming class. As you know, class begins tomorrow. If you haven't already, make sure you go in and look at this week's folder and see what is due for the week, and make sure you're conscious of all of the due dates. One of the main things I wanted to talk to you about was the change in textbook for this course. We were disappointed to find out that one of your required text, Content Counts, is no longer in print, and there are not enough copies available for the entire class because we have 4 sections of this class. I know that some of you have already purchased this textbook, and so we're going to handle this situation in a couple of different ways. I have asked everyone that has purchased Content Counts to let me know. Some of you have responded by saying that you have purchased the text and you're going to keep it for your own professional use. Some of you have let me know that you purchased it from the UAM bookstore. If you have purchased your text from a retailer that will allow you to return it, and that is what you want to do, then please feel free to return that text. If you purchase that text from the UAM bookstore, we have spoken to the manager of the bookstore, and he said you will have 5 days from the first day of class to return that text. So that means from tomorrow, you will have 5 days to return it to the bookstore for a full refund. If you have purchased the text, you cannot return it, then we will allow you we will make some modifications to your assignments to allow you to utilize that text in the course since you have already purchased it. I have been compiling a list of those of you who have replied to me and let me know that you've already purchased the text, and I will be sending an email out to all of you with your options, and you can let me know what you would like to do. Okay, we were disappointed and we apologize. We didn't find out until this past Saturday that the text would no longer be available, and we acted as quickly as we could to let you know. It's an excellent text. If you did purchase it, I would urge you to keep it just for your own professional resource. And again, I apologize for the inconvenience. That being said, the other text that's in the required text folder, the Developing Readers in the Academic Disciplines by Doug Buell, is still a required text for the course. Your quizzes and your discussion board prompts, for the most part, will come out of this text. So if you haven't ordered it already, make sure that you do that as quickly as possible. Okay, in our course, you will have discussion boards some weeks, but not every week. You will have quizzes for the first several weeks of class. During this period of quizzes and discussion boards, that is what your main focus will be, and that is to build your background knowledge on disciplinary literacy so that you can complete those projects later on in the course, which we will talk about in just a minute. For this week, class begins tomorrow. You do have a discussion board, so make sure that you complete your initial response by Thursday at 11:59. The first week's prompt is basically just a background question. It's just asking about your feelings and knowledge about disciplinary literacy. So you should be able to do that even if you don't have your text yet. You can still complete that discussion board for this week. Excuse me. For the next several weeks, you will be having quizzes and discussion boards each week based on the reading from your text. In week 7, there is a notice to you in there with an assignment of a disciplinary literacy paper. There are certain criteria and topics you need to address in that paper. In the week 7 folder, you can go in and look at the assignment, and it is not due until April 16th. But I put it in the week 7 folder so that you can begin to think about that paper. It's not something that I want you to open the folder on Monday and say, oh, we got a paper due, and get it all done quickly. I want you to begin to research, take your time with this information, look back at the text that you've read, and do research on your own, and make sure that you have a cohesive and a deep paper to turn in and not just surface level information. You won't receive the complete credit if that's what you do. So I wanted to give you plenty of time to think about the information. All of the criteria you need, along with the rubric for scoring, will be available in the week 7 folder. In week 9, you're going to be asked to evaluate some lesson plans. By this point in the course, you should have a wealth of knowledge about disciplinary literacy, and we will provide you with some lesson plans and criteria for evaluating those lesson plans, and you're to look at them and tell us if you think that that is a sound lesson plan. Is it a good lesson plan for disciplinary literacy? Does it meet that criteria of disciplinary literacy? And again, we will provide you with the criteria and a rubric and the lesson plans that you will be evaluating. You will have a couple of weeks to work on that. In week 11, you're going to have to find an article or a video or a website that you can share with the rest of the class pertaining to disciplinary literacy. And again, we will provide you some criteria and guidelines for that assignment when we get to that point. Your disciplinary literacy paper, I want to just reiterate for a minute that it is worth 200 points. So please make sure that you take advantage of the fact that you have that information early. You can begin to think about research and begin putting together that paper long before, excuse me, it is actually due. Another change in the course this semester, I will be setting up a discussion board, a general discussion board that is just for discussion, questions, and things like that among the students in the class. Several of you had mentioned that in your reflections from last semester, and I appreciate that, and I think that is a really good idea. And so I am going to set up a general discussion board that you can have for your own use, just for discussion, questioning, and providing information and suggestions to each other. I look forward to learning with all of you again this semester. Please don't hesitate to always contact me if you have any questions. My office hours are posted on the syllabus. Also, I'm always available for email during the posted hours on the syllabus. There are virtual office hours there, and those are when I'm available for emails. If you need to have a web conference with us, we can set that, or with me, we can set that up. But please don't hesitate to ask for help if you need it. Make sure that you read your syllabus and check all of the assignments, policies, and procedures for the class. And I look forward to another wonderful semester with you all.